All right. It's 6:45 here on the East Coast in America. And I want to say good morning. Good morning to all my salespeople out there. If you are exchanging something for something else, you're getting a commission, a benefit. If you're getting, friends because you're showing up and being helpful, all of those are commissions. So all of us are salespeople in one form or another. All of us have to communicate with others to try to get our way, to try to influence a decision, things of that sort. So this morning, I wanted to come to you, and I just wanted to give you some objection handling material from Grant Cardone, so that you can attack the day with maybe just another way, another knowledge, some more skills for my salespeople out there to hopefully increase your income today, not tomorrow, not 6 months from now, but starting right now. So that's what we're going to do. Now, the first thing we need to understand about objection handling is that we should have it written down black and white, exactly how we're going to handle it, what we're going to say, what we're going to do. And we should stick to that script. We should stick to that process until we're good at it. Once we're good at it and we can identify where we're having troubles, or, hey, maybe I need to refine this part, then you can do that. Don't have a script or a way you're going to handle the objection and then be changing it every day because once or twice it didn't work. All right. That's not going to be efficient for you. So what we're going to do today, we're going to talk about, I don't have time. We're going to talk about where do we get the objection, I don't have time, and how to handle it. All right. So I don't have time. If you are in a close of a sale, right? You're writing them up. You're trying to seal the deal and have them become a customer so you can service them. You're not usually going to get, I don't have time. That doesn't make sense, right? So where are we going to get, I don't have time? I don't have time is usually going to come somewhere where somebody would also say something like, I'm not interested. But I don't have time usually comes after that part. So it could come right in the beginning if somebody's super busy, like, hey, I'm busy, I don't have time for this. Like say you do the greeting and you do your big claim, that could be their response. Two things could happen with that if you get it right there, is it's either a legitimate, they don't have time right now, which is kind of weird because they picked up the phone, right? Or if you're talking to them, if they came to you in the store, they're usually not going to say, oh, I don't have time. I mean, maybe they're going to be like, hey, I need to get something and get out of there real quick. But they had time to pick up the phone. They had time to walk in. They had time to do all these other things. So if that happens, I'm gonna show you how to handle that in a second. But that just don't take that at face value. Don't make it a problem that they don't have time. Okay, now I'll explain that in a second. The other part or area you're going to get, I don't have time, is after you have had some back and forth, like you've greeted them, you find out what they're doing, you're trying to get them, trying to talk with them, trying to find out what their issues are, if there are any problems you can solve, and you're just trying to get there, and then you get to the part where like you're trying to transition into the demonstration. And they're like, yeah, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for an appointment. I don't have time for you to show me this thing over here, all that sort of thing, right? If you get it there, it's more of they don't see the value of why they should, right? Like you've been talking to them, you haven't identified the problem effectively. And so if you're trying to transition into that demonstration, you're going to be wasting everybody's time if they're sitting there saying, yeah, I don't have time for this. They're not understanding why they should give you the time to let you show them what you have. So you need to kind of handle that, right? Okay, so I don't have time. If you're getting it, especially right in the beginning, it's going to be a reactionary defense response. So a reactionary defense response is different than just not seeing the value. You've already been talking and you're trying to transition into that demonstration. It's different. The reactionary defense response in the beginning is, I don't know you, I don't trust you, right? It's kind of the same thing as like, why should I give you the time? That's what they're really saying is, why should I trust you right now? Why should I listen to what you're saying? Why should I give you 5 seconds more? The other piece, if it's near the trying to go into the demonstration or the presentation, it's, I don't see the value in this. Not necessarily I don't trust you, not that I'm listening because we've been talking for a minute, but I don't see the value here. I don't see how this benefits me. So you need to like connect those dots and get them to show you how it benefits, right? Okay, so the reactionary defense response, Grant Cardone Grant Cardone says, treat it like a complaint. For example, I have to get up and go to work today, right? Oh man, I had to get out of bed. It's a complaint. It's still going to happen. I still want to hit my goals. I still have things to do in life. It's not that I never want to get out of bed. It's not that I don't want to go to work. I do. But at that moment, your initial thoughts, your initial reaction is, oh, man, 5 more minutes of sleep. Hit the snooze button, right? It's just a reaction. So same thing. If you're getting, I don't have time in the beginning, I'm busy. It's a reaction. So treat it like a reaction. Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree with you. And then go back to your script. You don't have to sit there and say, oh, well, why are you busy? Why don't you have time? When do you have time? Right? This is the first time you're hearing them say, I'm busy or I don't have time. It's a reaction. It's not a complaint. It's not a legitimate, possibly it's not a legitimate thing, right? So don't make it a thing. Don't make it a problem. Don't sit there and be like, okay, well, when will be good for you? Like, stay in the game, right? Don't immediately go to setting an appointment later on and all that. Like, stay in the game. So if somebody says, hey, I don't have time, you're just going to say, oh, absolutely. Completely understand you wouldn't have time for this right now. That's why I'm calling. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about, hey, how many salespeople do you have or whatever you're doing, right? Okay, you're selling insurance. Hey, do you own a home? Right? Go into your questions. Okay, if you go into your questions, you go into your qualifying questions, your fact-finding questions, and they go, hey, look, I really don't have time for this. Now it's becoming a more legitimate concern. It's not just a reaction. That's when we need to handle it. Okay, so I want you to understand that there's a difference between handling just a complaint and handling a legitimate concern. All right, so like I said in the beginning of this, we have to have it written down. We have to follow it exactly. Okay, so I have right here out of the Grant Cardone rebuttal manual exactly how to handle I don't have time. And I am going to read it to you off of here, and we're going to talk about it because I want to make sure that I'm following it exactly. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to listen. We're going to listen, and we're not going to interrupt. We're going to listen to duplicate. People say listen to understand. Absolutely. But you're going to listen to duplicate what they're saying. You can't duplicate what they're saying, the words they're saying, unless you listen. Second is you're going to acknowledge, I hear that you don't have time, and I understand. I hear that you don't have time, and I understand. All right. Third, we're going to isolate. Other than you not having time, is there any reason that you wouldn't give me a few minutes so that I could show you what my company can do for you? So we're trying to isolate it. Other than not having time, is there any other reason? And they might be like, oh yeah, hey, this is their chance to say, yeah, I really got this thing going on. I'm trying to like do something, right? And I just happened to answer the phone and it was absent-mindedly or something. Maybe the Google Assistant answered it for them, right? They're driving or something. I don't know. All right. So the next step is going to validate and discount. Okay. So here's the word track. Not having the time wouldn't keep you from looking at something that could dramatically improve your situation. Would it? They're going to say yes. They're either going to go the yes route or the no route. Yeah. Because I don't have time, I can't do this. Okay. If they're saying that yes, the not having time is going to prevent them from listening to you or giving you a little bit more time to show them how you can improve their situation, that's when we take interest. That's when we dive deep and we say, okay, great. Totally get that. So tell me, when you say you're not interested, and it's, you can't give me 30 seconds because you're not interested. What do you mean by that? Why is that? All right. Why is that? If they say no, yeah, no, it's not. So the question is, not having the time wouldn't keep you from looking at something that could dramatically improve your situation, would it? And they say no. Then we're going to go into the pro. We're going to go straight into the qualifying questions. Go back to your script, your original script of your qualifying questions. All right. Now, if they said yes and you're going into the probing, and you're going to find out. You're going to say, why is that? They're going to give you an answer. You need to get an answer to your question in some way or some form. Then the next one is, when you say that, whatever their answer is, when you say that, what do you mean? What do you mean? Because we're trying to find out the true, like, what's really going on here, right? So that's where we're diving deep on that. All right. So then you're going to listen. You're going to understand it. You're going to be able to duplicate it, right? If you need to. You said, hey, you said this. This is what I hear, right? And then you want to listen to duplicate. All right. But after probe, this is the next thing. You're going to tie down. You're going to tie it down. All right. Here's the word track. Assuming that I could show you how I can improve your current situation, could you make 3 minutes for me right now? They're either going to say yes or no. You've been going back and forth here for a second, right? Asking questions. This is like the third time that you've asked them if you can show them how to improve their situation. Just on this objection, just on this one thing, right? So you're staying in the deal. You're not just giving up. You're not just saying, oh, okay, let me go schedule an appointment. Let's go for the down the road thing. No, what you do is important. You're helping people, right? You're a salesperson. You help people improve their lives, reach their goals, all sorts of great stuff. You make the economy of the world turn. Giving up and going straight to an appointment later on is not the answer. The answer is to stay in the deal, man. Stay there, stay with it. You don't sell yourself on they're busy and I should just give up and set an appointment later on. The reason they're giving the objection, I don't have time, is they don't see the value in this. They don't know you. So you've got to stay in the deal long enough to give them the value, to get to know you. All right. So after you tie it down, you're going to give like a value claim. Like, hey, as a Grant Cardone likes to see, I help people increase their income, their revenue by over 30% in less than 90 days. So to be sure I'm not wasting your time, let's transition. Let me ask you. And I'm going to qualifying questions. All right. So show a little bit of value and then go into that qualifying questions. All right. So that's how we handle I don't have time. Treat the RDR, the defense response, as a complaint. If it comes up again, then let's handle that objection. All right. I hope that was helpful. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.